A comparison video between a 300 and a 79 series. Not another comparison video, I can't deal with it. I mean, what are you even going to compare? It's like going back into the 80s. The 75 series versus 60 series. There was still no comparison back then. And I owned both. Towing 3.2 tonne. You couldn't do that back in the 80s. Now remember, that's 320 kilos right at the back of the vehicle. So I feel like we own the best two Land Cruisers to date. We've got an Auto 79 series, how good's Auto? A farm truck with a Hilux motor and gearbox. Can I say that? You can't say that. And the 300 series. A refined piece of machinery. A V6 with all your bells and whistles. The GR Sport. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to hook up 3.2 tonne to both of them. Which one tows better? Which one uses less fuel? Which one brakes better? We'll go and visit some friends with both of them. Then I'll give you my honest opinion, and numbers don't lie. We've got factory suspension on the 300, just with a bigger shoe. The Kumho AT52s, and I love them. The 79's got aftermarket suspension, airbags, and a bigger shoe than the 300, but still, the Kumho AT52s. Did I say I love them? I really do love them. And how good are these new Penrite Ambassador shirts? They'll double up awesome for Australia Day. Alright, before we start towing, I'm just going to have a little chat about fuel consumptions, just running around home. So where we live, we're lucky enough to live on some of the best coastline in Sydney. And our day-to-day driving doesn't consist of speeds more than 50, 60 kilometres an hour. So while the 79 in its day-to-day runs, we average around the 12 litres per 100. And unfortunately, I can't say the same decent numbers for the 300. 16.8 litres per 100. Around town, I was actually expecting a lot better figures. So this is going to be a pretty good test here. We'll hook up the trailer. First time towing some decent weight on the 35s. And first time towing some decent weight on these parabolics. So what we'll do first, we'll take some measurements. So we've got 0 in the bags, empty. Then we've got 0 in the bags with bullet on. And then we'll have 30 pound in the bags with bullet on. So we've got 875, we've got 890. So I'm sure the discrepancy is just the angle the car's sitting on the curb. And from a distance, that A-frame is still nose up. That's 0 in the airbags. So driver's side, we got 855. Wow. Passenger side, 835. So that's a 40mm sag on the passenger side and only a 35mm sag on the driver's. Now that box has got some weight in it too, so it's pretty much sagged evenly. That's 0 in the bags. Yeah, the trailer, being outside all the time, we are getting some water in the box section. We're going to have to address that. We're going to put 30 in the bags and measure it again. So 860. It's taken us up 25 from 0 in the bags, but it's only 15 less than having nothing on the trailer. I mean, that's a credit to those springs. The weight carrying capabilities they have whilst being so comfortable. And the driver's side, we're at 880. So we're only 10mm under what we were with the car off. So look, the facts are that this is not something that we've acquired just now. We've been towing this weight around for over a decade. And I can tell you too, with the TJM stuff we had in the white one, all pre-rego, with the bigger GVM upgrade, we were running 50 PSI just for the car to look level. 30 is what we were running with the caravan in tow. So that's the difference, right, with the Terrain Tamer Parabolics. Now remember, that's 320 kilos right at the back of the vehicle. All right, let's strap it down and get moving. I'm excited to feel the gearing on the 35s and see how the suspension's going to feel. So 510. So what will the sag be from the 320 kilos of ball weight on the factory coil? 400, 110mm sag. To be fair, the only way we can compare the same thing is when I take bullet off the trailer. We'll see how much that comes off and we'll deduct that off the 110mm. So we're 370. So we're going to take the car off and work out exactly how much sag the springs got compared to the 79. So we only measured it with the trailer on. Now we've got a measurement at the same spot at 450. So with that info, we can confirm that the sag's only around 30 mil in comparison to when we did it on the 79, which was around the 40 mil sag. So these factory coils can handle the weight. 5:15 a.m. we've zeroed the total average power haul on. So we got a couple of hours driving, mostly freeway today. We're going to be doing the rounds, and then yeah, we'll eventually put the trailer on the 300 and do the same drive. Compare fuel and compare my thoughts on towing 3.2 tonne. Driving out of the M5 tunnel, holding speed. It's in 4th gear. Let's see how it climbs out. Not a problem. Went back to 3rd there, but didn't drop under the speed limit. What I did notice driving around town yesterday on the 35s with the car on the trailer is it didn't like pulling up and going again. It kind of got stuck. It was a bit weird to explain. It was like drifting in 2nd but lagging badly, like it didn't want to go back to 1st. Don't remember that happening on the 285s. I've just hit the 100 zone. I've put my foot down a little bit, so it reached and it's holding 100 very easily. My foot's only half the way down. The rear springs, they feel amazing. You wouldn't know that I'm carrying the weight I've got. It's firm yet comfortable and smooth. I could probably afford to drop them 5-7 psi. We've hit a bit of traffic here on the M7, and I just felt that uneasy gearbox shift again. So when we're coming to a near stop, I'm in drive, so it's going between 3rd and 2nd, but when we come to a near stop and then I go again, it finds itself in the too high gear. Eventually it shifts down, but I feel that's where maybe I need to be in the manual and shift it myself. But on the highway sections at 100, 110, it's been doing it flawless. We'll cancel that trip meter. We go into Sports Plus. That's our tow mode, and let's do it. We're in the M5 again, so this is the same hill that we saw the 79 come out. Now I just have to say that the brakes on this are just that much more superior to the 79. The engine braking, way better. The suspension, so I'm going to choose the 79 suspension with those heavy leaf springs, the 400 to 700 kilo with bags. The 300's doing it good in Sports Plus. It stiffens up the rear shocks in that mode, but it's still got that little bit of bounce. And the other thing I want to say is weight distribution wise. So I'm not sure if you remember when we towed with the Fortuner, I always said I felt that what was behind me was a little bit too heavy for the car. It was sort of pulling me around. I don't feel that in this. So the 79 or this, as far as weight distribution, I feel they're about the same. The other thing where I have no complaints is when you're coming to that near stop and need to put your foot down to move again, the 10 speed is far more superior in that department. It doesn't get caught in any different sort of gear that you don't want to be in. It is an absolute beast, this vehicle. So the rumours that we hear is that this V6 is going to be coming out in the Hilux. So unfortunately we're not going to get to hold speed out of here unless I really back off. But yeah, this is amazing. The pickup that this V6 has. Damn, a bit of traffic there, so I couldn't get like for like, but I can feel that this is a lot more superior with that heavier weight on the back. So I've towed Bullet Truck back from Mudgee with this vehicle when it had the factory wheels, and I've towed the Jayco with it. Now if Toyota was going to offer this motor and box in a 79, I'd be putting mine up for sale tomorrow. I believe it would be the perfect relationship The V6, the 10-speed in a dual cab ute, the ultimate it would be. Coming up to the 100 zone, I'm sitting on 80. I mean, put my foot down and I'd be inside the back of that truck in a few seconds. While I'm happy with the 79, the auto has made a big difference compared to the old V8 manuals. I mean, there's just no comparison. I have to say too that it's been raining most of the morning and these kumhos are sticking to the road like a sports car tyre. I love this car, I love the features it has. But even if I was offered one as a dual cab, it's still not my ultimate 4B. I want a solid axle front, that's just me. It's getting just a little bit of pitch rock front to back with that 320 kilos cantilevering at the back there and the bumps. But I mean, this is stock suspension, but in the sports mode, the shocks do get a little bit firmer. The gears get held a little bit longer. It's a beautiful mode to be driving and towing in. Effortlessly cruising at 100, I've just put it in the manual form to see what gear we're in, and it says 7. What a machine. So I feel the 79's fine, towing the Jayco, the 2-ton mark. I think if you're looking for a heavier van, yeah, you're gonna struggle with the stock motor. In my opinion, if you're gonna be towing a 3-ton van, you're gonna want something like this 300. That's 3.2 on the back, and I don't feel it. It is just so amazing. The rumours have it that this motor and box is going in the Hilux. And you know the history, if it goes in the Hilux, it's going to go in the 70. If they announce this motor and box in a 70 series, I'd put mine up for sale tomorrow. What a machine. I'd happily tow even a 3.5 ton caravan with this around Australia. The two important stops were Terrain Tamer to collect a few bits and pieces. What we got at Terrain Tamer, some Pro Bushes. Now we're going to try these this time. They tell me that the comfort properties in these Pro Bushes these days are almost as good as rubber. So the bolts and collars all set up, ready for the next time I have 5 minutes to spare. Look at that, the kids get another pencil case. And Autobarn is a proud Penrite ambassador. Hi guys, I'm Denny from Team Bullet Off-Road. And July is Penrite month at Autobarn. So while we have been in the Simpson Desert for the last couple of weeks, it's not too late for me or you to get in store this weekend to grab some great deals on all Penrite products. A good 4 hours worth of driving, but not pushing it. Our top speed was around 100 and I did that only a few times, sitting at around 90, 95. Amazing fuel consumption. So that's takeaway 1.7, so it's touch over 16 litres per 100, towing the 3.2 tonne. As opposed to, what, 20 litres per 100 when we were towing the Jayco, but that was me holding 110 on big hills. Now you can really feel that extra tonne on the back. Now I wouldn't like to be travelling around Australia in a 3.2 tonne caravan behind this little 4-cylinder. I mean, once we were on the freeway, it was fine. It was just driving around towns where I really feel that the V8, having the manual, would have done it better, because the second gear was just not enough to pull this up from just under a stopping start. The day we toured in the 300, we visited Penrite and Carroll Springs. Mark at Carroll Springs does all our EFS custom leaves for Bullet Truck. So while we're in there, we showed Mark that spring, and he feels that this may have done the damage. We might have done a big hit. It's taller than me. And then that's where he says it's bent. You can see it going up that way and up that way, not sitting together. So he feels that maybe we could make this maybe an inch longer. But in any case, he said, just bring me the pack and I'll fix it. So that'll be a job for when I can find another 5 minutes somewhere. I'm still a bit upset that we didn't get to do the hill at the end of the M5, because that would have been a comparison, having only done it yesterday, the memory. Sometimes when you don't drive a car for a little while and then you tow with something else, it's not right there in your brain to compare, you know, pair for pair. So what we're going to do, we're going to go back across the tunnel eastbound and then turn around somewhere and hopefully there's no traffic and come back westbound. And how good is that feature? So I've got an earlier iPhone to Shell, so Shell's iPhone lead is different to mine, but the 300 offers a charging station. We'll turn right up here. Look, I've got something in tow. It's not a boat, although it can be used as one from time to time. All right, with a bit of luck, I can make enough clearance to see if we can hold speed up the other end of this tunnel. I mean, it's been going flawless today, this vehicle. Well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it happen. If any of these trucks pull out, I'm doomed. But I'm trying to keep enough gap to give me the room to accelerate if I need to. Yeah, I think we'll be good. The slow vehicles are moving over, which is a good sign. You start to see light here. Look at that, 80. I'm barely pushing the accelerator down. That's 3.2 ton on the back. It's only just geared down now. Oh, much easier than the 79. Look at that. So there's our trip summary. We did 155 kilometers. It took us 4 hours. And the fuel economy of 18.5 litres per 100. Well, that's telling us 18.2, and I did clear it as I took off. So 18.2, 18.5, I think that's quite good. Considering it's not that much less without 3.2 ton on it, just driving around home. So there's my comparison. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, thanks for watching.